little bit unorthodox. So I have some different questions that I'm going to ask Fowzia, because she and I got together earlier this week and we were just kind of talking and letting her share her story. So as I listened to her share her story, I kind of came up with some different questions that will kind of help lead her talk. And when we get to the end, we'll open it up and you guys will have an opportunity to ask her some questions that you might have as you listen to her story, which I guarantee is a lot different than your story. So Fowzia, the first question I have for you is, what did a normal day look like for you growing up as a kid in Somalia?
Growing up in Somalia was, well, I grew up in northern Somalia, country, and in Somalia, it's North Somalia is desert, and it gets really hot, over 100 degrees. And living in the country is like the houses, it's not like American houses, it's like houses that you made by hand. So it takes you 2 hours to make it by trees and, leaves and stuff like that. So waking up in the house that you made 2 hours in the jungle with wild animals, when the sun comes out in the morning, you just appreciate it. You're just like, thank you, God. Here I am another day that I'm alive. Because nighttime when you're sleeping, you can hear, the hyena or the lions will come and take one of the sheep for the family, and you can hear it, and you're like, God, it's not me. He didn't take me. So that's how my day used to start. It starts to just watch the sun coming up, and it's just so beautiful in the morning when it comes, and you just appreciate to be alive. And then, every family is different. My family, I had 2 sisters and 1 brother. So everybody has a job, work that they have to do in the morning. My was watching the sheep. My sister will go find the woods to cook for the family. The other one will go look for water. It would take some miles and miles to work to bring the water, not dry, but by bag. You gotta carry the water in the bag, bring home, and that's how we used to wash clothes, to cook, to clean. So we take a turn. One day my sister will wash the sheep and I will look for water. So mostly I used to watch sheep. So when I say I used to watch sheep, you're probably thinking, that's bored, right? But it's a big responsibility. You're watching 300 sheep. And before you leave in the morning, you only have a bottle of water to take with you. We didn't have a peanut butter and jelly in brown bags in my house. I wish I did. I didn't. I had a bottle of water that my father made of wood. So it was like wood water, and he put water, and I take that with me, and I watch the sheep. So watching the sheep, as here you in the jungle, you by yourself, 11 years old, starts, I think 10 or 11. And I said 6 o'clock, but there is no time. We don't have like watch that tells you the time. So we use the trees, like the shape of the trees will tell you, like if the shape goes this side, then it's like, oh, it's afternoon. So we don't have clock, but we know when the sun goes down, and when it comes out, it's in the morning. So around when the sun comes out, I go watch the sheep. My mom will count the sheep to see, so when I come back and bring the sheep back, she will know if one is missing. And if one is missing, there's no dinner for me. They like, why do you let what happened to the other sheep? So by watching the sheep, the 300 sheep, it gets bored, but also a big responsibility because, if one of the sheep has the baby, you have to help the sheep to deliver the baby, carry that baby, bring home, when you bring the other sheep back. But it teaches you skills too. You will learn how to care, how to love, how to, you know, and that 300 sheep, I know each and every one, their names, you know, and by watching that whole day, all I have is that water, you know, but what I had was hope, because I'm thinking, well, when I get home, I know Mom's gonna make corn, and we used to have corn every night, because that's all they grew up, you know, there's no like, my mom's not gonna order pizza, you know, we didn't have that. So, but she would make the corn like different ways. Sometimes it looked like oatmeal, sometimes it's just the corn, you know, she boil it, and then we have camel milk that we drink. So it's completely different, it was a different world. But I had hope, you know, and that hope get me through the day. I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna go home, you know, and Mama was gonna make food and everything's gonna be okay. So that was.
So obviously you're no longer in Somalia. Have any of you ever had camel milk?
I think they have. I think they do have in Phoenix, Arizona. The closest.
So when you go to Phoenix next time, try the camel milk.
It's good.
I've ridden on a camel, but that's not the same. So obviously you're no longer in Somalia.
Yeah.
So when you came to the States, what were some of the big differences that you noticed between Somalia and America?
It was completely different. Well, in Somalia, we really don't have like a lot of lights. So like when the sun goes down, that, you know, everything is dark. So coming to America, it was amazing. I left Somalia, then I went to Kenya, Nairobi to Germany to London, London to JFK Airport. That's in New York. So it was a long flight. When I came to JFK, I thought it was beautiful because like different color of people. Because I didn't see, we only have one color of people in my country. So that was interesting. I'm looking, I didn't speak the language. I never went to school all my life, so I have no education. I didn't speak English, and I don't know what the people were saying. But by looking at them, I'm like, wow, I never see a place that you have so many different color of people, and I'm just watching in the airport while I'm waiting for my sponsor. And then other thing, I look and I say, wow, but everybody's moving fast. So I thought it was crazy, because any time that we move that fast, you know, you see people moving it fast in Somalia is either when you lost sheep or you missing your child and everybody like running and looking for that. That's only, other than that, it's laid back. You know, everybody moves the same speed. But when I see that in JFK, everybody is running, I was like, these people must be crazy, or they must lose something. They lose something that they're all looking for. I can't ask it them because I didn't speak English. I didn't know the language, but I thought it was interesting.
So one of the things that you said when we were talking earlier this week was that Americans are not hungry physically, most of them. But you said that you noticed that they're hungry in a lot of other ways. Could you share a little bit more about what you meant by that?
What I mean by that is that I think as a human being, we have three things, to my understanding. It's mind, then you have the body, and you have the soul. So if I only feed my body, just my body, and think about my stomach, what to burn, you know, I could never be happy. I'm never gonna be happy, because what happens is that I put it and then it turns to trash, and then I gotta keep feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding and eating and eating. But when you feed the soul, it's a different. When you're connected with God, it's the best happy feelings. No food can give you, no mother can give you, no father can, nobody can give you, but yourself to go in God and try to connect it with Him. It's a good feeling. So what I'm saying that is that I find out that when I was, I watched the sheep and all day I didn't eat, all I have is water. Sometimes I will find, um, honey on the trees with my water, or I find something in the jungle, look like grapes, whatever it is. I just grab it and eat it, by faith, and just thinking that, oh, I'm going to have food, But why I was doing that, more I didn't have food, more I find myself close to God and becoming happy. You can give me a cup of tea and I'm satisfied. Because I realize that life is not just having material things and having food. It's more than that. And when you feed and try to connect with God. So when I'm sitting under the trees and watching the sheep, I'm also learning spiritually because I'm meditating. I have time to myself. It's not like America here, fast. So get to know myself, get me close to God. So when I get hungry, I'm just thinking, well, I'm going to go home. So I have hope. And I'm learning, like, I'm hungry for, not just for food, but power. And I'm like, God, can you imagine? I'm watching the rain, and I'm looking, and I'm like, whoever can create that must be amazing, if you can stop the rain. So by just me talking to myself and taking time myself, it gets me close to God, and I'm becoming more happier and more happier. So even when I come and my mom give us, a food and we eating these corns, it just, my soul, because I have more food in my soul than my body, that I becoming happy. So that's what I mean, America. So I didn't see that in America. I mean, I go to stores like Walmart and I see all these foods. I have never, we don't have a refrigerator. I never see one place have that much food, So I'm thinking to myself, like, when I see one cake, it says cake, but you have chocolate cake, you have vanilla cake, it's just cake. So I'm thinking, why do they have all this food? It's just, why don't you just say one cake? Why they have to be all this, and then not only that, they put a cream on the top. So I was asking, I said, did they really went to college to get people's, like, make so much food and then get you, like, you gotta look at it. You have to look at it, the way they make it and everything. So it's amazing,
So Fawzi, how has your faith in Jesus given you strength through this journey that you've been on?
Without God, I wouldn't be here. I probably would get eaten by the hyenas in Somalia or the lions. Because I remember one day, my mom told me to get woods, and me and my friends were looking for woods. You gotta collect all the woods, put it together, and then carry it back and bring home. So by me doing that, we just kids. So we was playing, and then one of my friends says, "Oh, look at this place! It's so underground, and there's something moving in there." So we look at it, and it's underground. And then I look at it, and I see this beautiful, beautiful cat. Look like a cat. It's so beautiful. So we try to play with her, and then get the cat out. And while we was playing with the cat, I just heard this big voice, so, and it was a lion. So we was playing with the baby. The lion put it in there. So somehow, I don't know, she feel it or she smell it. I don't know how does she know we was playing with her baby, but she came and I was so scared. I was so scared, so I dropped the woods. We all dropped the woods, we were running. So I came home and I tell my mom that, I almost get eaten by, by lion. And she's like, where's the woods? Or she wants the woods. I'm like, Mom, I almost died. I just tell you, I almost get eaten by lions, and you're talking about, you just the woods to cook. So for me not having